Hi, so this is our Sacrament meeting planner. We used EF entity framework to do this assignment. We chose this one because it's kind of easy to use entity framework since it's designed to talk to a database, so it's laying on top of the database, and it's really easy to use it. Basically, we're just using the models that we have in our app to talk to the database, and it just convert it automatically to the tables in Microsoft Server SQL. And what we did, we created three data models and controllers. So the first one is to handle the meetings. And then the second one's to handle kind of like the topic. So, and then the other one is to handle speakers. So the topics controller is kind of like binding both meetings and speakers together. So the topics or speaking assignment using the ID of meetings and then also the speakers to show the data. So we can see it right here. And the topics showing the topic itself, and then using the ID showing the speaker's name, and as using the meeting ID showing the meeting's date. And next one will be Dwayne. He's gonna explain about the overall design, and then go ahead, Dwayne.
So on the homepage is where I started with our design. When I was thinking about a sacrament meeting, I was just literally thinking about a chapel and some church influence. So I took that honeycomb shape. I saw some menus where a lot of geometric shapes were interlaced together. I figured this would be something that, if this app were to expand in the future, the honeycomb shapes, the beehive shapes, really interlock together real nicely. So if this expanded from, instead of just a sacrament meeting planner, into something else, you could add more tiles, more buttons, and they would stay pretty well organized and kind of fit that theme. I tried to keep with a common color scheme. I was thinking, a chapel has usually wood pews, so the darker browns, the lighter browns, the black that's inside of the grain of the wood, all kind of go together. And so I tried to use that for contrast. And in little places here and there, I've got different colors for different kinds of links. Some of them will turn green because I remember my chapel growing up had green seats. Some of them are more red because of the red seats, and just trying to kind of stick within that color scheme. So we go into the meetings page. That's where we can see some of the different wood colors taking place as well, the alternating rows and things. I did stick with the Whitney Ranch Ward title has the same font as the front page, and I believe on every page except for the delete page, that Whitney Ranch Ward stays at the top. The make changes page, the view print page, they all say Whitney Ranch Ward right there. So that kind of feels like you're in the same app, but only other things are changing. That one changes a little bit because it's being printed. But other than that, and on the meeting date column, that's a sorting column. So that is a link, but it's not a link that takes you to a different page. So I wanted to make it a different color than, say, the build meeting or make changes links, because those take you to different pages. So I kind of stuck with that. And then the top nav bar stayed black because I wanted that to show that it was completely different than anything else. It's obviously kind of a different part of the app that stays with you. Some changes, if I had more time, some changes we'd like to make, or I'd like to make to the design. I really liked how Nate did our view print page in kind of two columns. I was hoping to try to get that same layout in the create page and in the edit page, but didn't quite have the time. So that'd be one thing I'd like to improve upon in the future. From there, Landon's going to explain our validation and where we went with some of those other functions.
Okay, yeah, so if we want to go ahead and build a meeting, So validation, the biggest thing for this was, of course, just making sure that, everything allows you to input correctly. The dates align with dates. You can't put numbers or anything as far as names go. And then hymns are going to be based upon numbers. And so as well for the names, they did need to be first names and last names, and they require capitalization on both words just to kind of make things look professional when they get printed out. And then from there, I think one of the biggest things as far as any changes would go would be for Sacrament hymn, just to make things more user friendly for any of the hymns. It'd be nice to have a drop down that would be able to, you just type in either like a hymn number or the beginning of the words of the song, and it would pull up the correlating song. And so, yeah, from there, it gives the option to add a speaker. So we can add a speaker in there, and then also put some notes on the end if we'd like to. And the hymn numbers, just to add on to that, they did need to be between 1 and 341, just according to the songs that there are. So then we could go ahead and go on to Nate for his portion.
Yeah, so I took care of the printing of the program, and if you can go to the view print to view the meeting, and this is where the details of the meeting are, and this made the most sense to put the print functionality here just because all the information is here. And so initially, when you scaffold these view pages, it all puts everything into a definition list, DLDD and all those things. And I was originally trying to just keep the code that was inside of the view file exactly the same without making any modifications, but I could not get the leader dots to separate, the title or the event and the speaker or whatever. And you can, if you hit the print program down at the bottom of the page, you can see what I'm talking about. Anyway, so I reconstructed the information that was in the details page and put it all in an unordered list that doesn't display unless you're in the print view. So the print is controlled by a print media query in the style sheet. And it was all, done in CSS, and we've got the leader dots there that looks like just a regular church program that you'd get when you go to Sunday services. The only thing that I couldn't get the way I wanted it to be displayed was the leader dots between, like, say, the talk on faith and the actual speaker. I couldn't make those dynamic, so they're like a fixed width. And so most of the things I saw in examples in CSS, I saw most of these done on like menus and things like that are all like, static examples where, names change lengths and stuff like that. I couldn't make those leader dots dynamic, but otherwise it looks pretty just like a regular, church program for Sacrament meeting. But, I think initially we had mentioned about, trying to make this as print as a PDF, but it just didn't make sense because the print media query in the CSS is so much easier to do than trying to program a PDF. And by that, if everything's saved in the database, you don't have to save documents anywhere. You can just, print it. So there's no need to save anything anywhere, any files or anything. So that's pretty much it for the printing functionality.
All right, I guess that's it from us. Anything else you want to add?
I think that covers it.
All right, thank you so much for watching.